Good morning. Yeah, I still got that squeaky chair. It's got to go away. Happy Thursday. I thought I had a gig today, but I didn't. It was that I get the days confused with something else. And on my calendar, I looked at my calendar quick last week. And it was like, oh, I gotta get a gig Thursday morning, but I don't. I'll be taking off pretty quick. I gotta get out of town. It's like, I don't know. I just gotta get out of town today. Tonight, Castle Bay up to the music hall, South Waterford, Bear Mountain Music Hall. Pop in if you're in that neighborhood. If you live in that neighborhood and you haven't been there, you're missing something. You're missing a lot. Hint, hint. So anyhow, I'm the dragon. Did I say that? I'm supposed to say that right. I'm supposed to say, well, hello there. I'm the dragon. And today, we're going to do a quick review on Jerry. Now, the story on Jerry, as you recall, over the last couple of years, we had, this is not Jerry, this is Ann. When I got Ann, she was named Little Orphan Annie because she came out of a pile in the thrift store downstairs, and she was split here and here and here and missing a cross brace. It's ladder braced. 1971 Gibson B20, one of 500, and it's a sweet little guitar. We like this. Well, I ran into my friend who runs the thrift shop downstairs, just one floor down. Last night, she was going home, and I pulled up my phone and says, "Oh God, Sue, you got to see this. You got to see this." And I showed her the picture of the former Little Orphan Annie, now Lady Ann, because she's definitely found a home. And Sue said, she says, "I've got one more guitar in there from that bunch," and it was her adopted uncle's, and she explained to me the whole connection between her and this old guy that was kind of a hoarder and kind of just an interesting person. And she says, it's got his name on it, but it's just stickers. You can take them off if you want. And if you want it, I'll just give it to you. So it was like, well, okay, I'll take a look at it sometime. She says, well, come on. And she goes, you know, she unlocks the thrift store, because it's after hours, and you go in. It's like, getting a private viewing here, you know? That's pretty cool. But she thought a lot of the old guy, and when he died, I guess she was basically the executor of his hoard, which was a lot of stuff. And I got in there, and she had it up over her desk. It had been up over her desk for like a year and a half, because it's been about a year and a half since I bought Ann. And that whole process of letting her, you know, reacclimate to not being in a cellar or wherever it was, that, you know, because she'd dried out. I let her sit around and soak in moisture and air and stuff like that, and I cleaned her and I talked to her. I played her a little bit in her shattered condition to start out with. So it had been a year and a half, and this was above her desk. I guess she kind of had a hard time parting with it because it had the old guy's name on it. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll give it a home. Wasn't really sure. I looked at the neck, and it was like, you know, has he been playing steel on this, or what? Well, it wasn't set up for steel. The neck needs a reset, but as far as I can tell, it's straight. So this is Jerry. And I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning on it because I haven't even cleaned it off. It hasn't even been dusted. This is like as found condition. But what it is, it's a 50s era Kay. Now Kay went out of business. There's still like Kay guitars around, but it's not the same company. You know, they bought the name and they're made in Japan or something like that. But Kay was started in the early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, sometime around there. And they produced guitars for Montgomery Ward. Some of their instruments were badged as Silvertones. Some of them were badged as Maestros or something like that. You know, so there was, you know, proprietary names put on them, but they were made by the K factory. Now, what this is, as we clean it a little, it will actually, it doesn't look too bad. Just getting the dust off it. 50s, made in the 50s sometime. Not too sure of the exact date, but because of the model and the setup, we can determine that it is a 50s era K Plains Special model. Now, Plains, remember the 50s, and Gene Autry, Roy Rogers, and then, you know, a whole host. Ken McKenzie was our local one. The Singing Cowboys. This was marketed as a singing cowboy guitar. And it's got that, you know, it's got those cowboy lines. You can almost see it with, you know, like a hand-tooled strap and the spurs and the spats and stuff. So, 50s era K Plains Special cowboy guitar. Got Jerry's name up there. That's going to stay. You know, I mean, it's like, you'd see a lot of that stuff, you know, putting their names on guitars. Even Lady Ann, you know, the little Gibson B20 has somebody's name written on it. It's got Devlin written on it. And I talked to Sue yesterday. She couldn't figure out who Devlin was, you know. Or maybe that's not even what it says. We've got a solid spruce top. You know, it's before they started putting, you know, composite tops on them, the plywood tops and stuff like that. A lot of the later Ks really did. They weren't that great. I mean, this isn't real high grade, but it's got, ooh, I wonder what that was. A piece of tape just came off. I thought it was a piece of veneer or something. Crickle. What was I saying? Yeah, so it's got, you know, a decent spruce top. You can see by, you know, the grain width that that's okay. This bridge is an interesting bridge. Huh. I hadn't noticed this before, but what if this thing's on backwards? No, that's not on backwards. But it comes, no, I guess it's right. It comes in through and up over. It's the original bridge, and as you can see, these are factory bolts. The pick guard is screwed on. You're not going to lose that tater, I'll tell you. So mahogany back and sides. I'm not sure what the neck is. It might be a maple neck, but it's something like that. It's a good hardwood spruce top. It does have, and I don't know if it can't be real tortoiseshell, but it's the tortoiseshell style binding around it. Binding on the front, binding on the back, and interestingly enough, for a quote-unquote budget guitar, it has binding on the inside of the sound hole, which is kind of cool. Now, the thing with these, you see a lot of these parted out. A lot of them got wrecked. A lot of them fell apart, and people didn't bother to put them back together because they were cheap. You know, they were inexpensive, and it's not the Martin, it's not the Gibson. You know, it's a K. You know, it's a little workhorse for the common person. A lot of people parted these out because of, and I haven't determined which these are, but the tuners on the back are either Gibson or Custom tuners, and they're very desirable tuners. The tuners are worth 5 times what the instrument is. If we take a look at Ann over here, now Ann, of course, is a Gibson. You know, upper echelon in quality. Jerry is the K, you know, way down there. And they have the same tuners. So if I just wanted to flip this instrument, it would be an easy flip, just to flip the tuners and toss the rest of it. But we're not going to do that. We're going to restore it. I'm going to get some quotes on getting a neck reset. As you can see right there, the neck has come unattached from the body. So this bend you see in the fretboard right here, it's, you know, it's straight and true across here. The fretboard is bending up under the pressure, and the neck itself, it seems to be straight. So this will come back to, I mean, there's a horrible gap there. This will come back to being a playable instrument. Well, I've got my bagpipes waiting by the door. Crusader Cruiser's outside. I'm gonna get out of town. Just because I love this town, but it drives me crazy. Because the people in it are crazy. Why are we all here? What is the meaning of life? Is there really an afterlife? Was there a before life? I don't know. Excuse me. And I don't care much. I love you all, you know. See you on the road. The bookings are coming in. I'm going to be doing a good bit of traveling. If I could just avoid driving through Boston to Scituate, which seems to be, I don't know, 10% of the offers right now is to drive through Boston traffic, which I don't want to do this time of the year. I'm the Dragon, and I'm going to say, onward.